Good morning, everybody. I'm EJ Lopez, and I decided to post my kind of ideas on Facebook and maybe set up a YouTube channel. I don't know, see how this goes. Really, to talk about things that you can't write in a post on Facebook. Here's the problem that I have with Facebook: it's very hard to convey your ideas without intonation and without facial expressions and without, all of the things, all of the nonverbal ways that we communicate, just strictly in writing and in posts on Facebook. That's the first thing. The second thing is, people don't read what you write. Like, you'll write this whole big long thing, and then somebody responds with something that makes no sense, that isn't even related to what you wrote. So I decided, I'm gonna just post stuff on Facebook. Maybe people will read, will listen to what I say instead of trying to read it. And I'm going to have different topics. This is my theory. I got a lot of time on my hands. I'm off in the summer. I'm a school teacher. So I figured, maybe every morning I'll just sit around and talk about what I think about everything. So today, my topic is the notion of what is politics. You always hear people say, I'm not political, or I don't get involved in anything, or I don't want to be political or express what I think politically because, it's too controversial or whatever it is. And I would just like everyone to look out their window, because everything is politics. Everything. The street you live on, whether it has a street sign, whether it's paved, whether or not you have trees or they all got mowed down to build a housing development, where you live near, whether the snow gets picked up, whether the garbage gets picked up, how much you pay in taxes, who pays taxes, what the money is spent on. Everything is political. Everything. So anybody who says that they're not political doesn't understand what that means. It means that every decision, everything that happens in your life, pretty much, is in some sense guided by some political decision that was made at a town board meeting, at a school board meeting, in a state, representatives, by state representatives and the governor, or in Congress. The big stuff is discussed on a national level. All the big time issues, guns and abortion and government spending and the military and all the big stuff we hear about on the news, and it's decided at the national level, United States Congress and the Senate and the House and the President and all that. The Supreme Court has a big role to play also. But a lot of your everyday stuff is determined by local politics, by what, who gets elected and where they live and what street they're going to pave and how your garbage is going to be picked up and what your property tax is going to be and what they're going to teach in your school and all those things. So I would just like to end my little segment today to say that please do not post stuff on Facebook that says, I'm not political and I don't believe in politics or whatever, because everything is political. Everything is politics. The fact that you can even write things that say, I'm not political, is in a sense a political statement, because you have the luxury of not having to, fight for things that other people don't have. So I'm just going to close this segment to tell you, to educate you, hopefully, that everything is politics, at least to me. And every decision, everything that happens to us is really a result of a political decision. Think about clean air. You think about the water we drink, the people in Flint, Michigan, and what happened to them. And, all of that is political. So let's not underestimate what a political decision is and what politics is. And then tomorrow, I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, which is the notion of independence. People say they're politically independent, and we're going to look at what does that actually mean. Is it possible to be independent, and is it possible to be non-political? So that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. So if you want to comment, great. If not, just listen, because it's better than a 500-word Facebook post that nobody's going to read. So have a good day, guys. I'm going to the beach. Bye.